Hey everybody, welcome to Hank's Corner. We got Carla Marie here. We got Freeman, Lady Dragon's Blood, Binary, Grim Reaper, Unclean Hands, got a guy, and Chris Casa, Dutch Doyle. And I know I'm missing some folks, but everybody's welcome. It's an open panel, open discussion. Link is pinned at the top if you want to join in. But the guest panelist for today's show is Hezokuai. Go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
Hello, welcome everybody. Lady Dragon's Blood, you got rid of your Chris Jericho thing? Let's see a dragon there.
I thought that was more appropriate for what I want to do to Cranky Pants.
I love it. Yeah, so hey, it's me, Hezokuai. Anyone who doesn't know, I've just been, I guess, recently getting into this whole sovereign citizen thing and starting to make videos about that, getting deeper and deeper into it. It's falling down the rabbit hole, as they say. And I'm happy to be here once again.
Yeah, and we'll have some of his videos a little bit later on. You see, the good Connie's made it into the chat. Two Bitches is here. Anybody else that showed up? Everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. You've been haven't had too much content coming out, but as you were telling me earlier, you've been having a problem with illness coming up, rearing its ugly head between you and your family. So life had been taking its priorities.
Yes, indeed. It's nothing serious. So, it's, but yeah, we've all been getting sick lately and all that. But I'm doing what I can. I got my Halloween special up, and you said you were going to show that later, so that's cool.
Yep.
And just working on whatever. I also have, computer limitations as well, but I do my best.
Yep.
When you first said, before we went live, Hank was telling me, he's like, hey, I'm going to have you reintroduce yourself. And then I thought of the Humpty Dance, and I was going to say, let me reintroduce myself. My name is Hez, pronounced with an Ez, but, whatever. I couldn't think of anything good to go with that, so.
Yeah. I love what you do with the music that you put out. The Frivolous Lawsuit was hilarious. And
thank you.
If you ever get the opportunity to get the theme song for my Sesame Street series, I'm sure that's going to be good too.
Right. Well, if nothing else, I think I'm going to have to go over to Hezokai's channel and track that.
Yeah, I've been working on that. But my biggest problem with that, to be perfectly honest, is the background noise. I'm trying to record it so that, the video is called Frivolous Lawsuit, and the whole thing is just a music video for that song.
Yeah.
But Hank, as far as me working on your theme song there, like I said, I pretty much got it all down. It's just a matter of me getting an opportunity to record it where I don't have kids screaming in the background, because every time I try to record it, something happens and then it sounds like crap, and I don't want you to have something that's bad. I want to do something good for you. I want to help you out.
Oh, yeah, I'm patient. I've been dragging my feet on getting the second one of the series out at all anyway, and if you don't have this, if you don't have the theme to me before I get the second one out or third one out, I'll just add them back and re-release them later.
Yeah, man, it'll work. It won't take long for me to actually finish it. It's just, like I said, every time I try to, I become like a perfectionist, and then I listen to it back with the headphones, and I'm like, oh, wait, there's something in the background. There's especially like if one of my kids is watching TV or something, and I could start picking up some of the copywritten stuff in the background. I'm like, no, I can't give them that. That's no good. That kind of thing.
I know exactly because I'll have a video ready to scoot to. I think it's ready to render and put out, and then I'll listen to it one last time, and it's like, oh, wait a minute, I need to go fix this.
Yeah. So, but it'll be good. I'm definitely working on it. It's going to happen.
And how have you been, Simon?
Pretty well. As I was mentioning in the chat earlier, suffering the lack of petrol in my part of the country, where I was down to possibly having one more or 1.5 more trips out to where I normally go before I'd be running on fumes, and just took a flyer and went out today and actually managed to find a petrol station with petrol.
Good.
So it's been fairly quiet.
And how have you been, Lady Dragon's
What's
Blood?
it per gallon out there in the UK these days?
Well,
They sold by the liter.
When I got it all. So multiply that by 4.4 to get per gallon. So about £5.20 a gallon.
Wow.
About $6 a gallon. US.
Yeah.
Yeah, just over.
I have no idea what the price is here.
When I was
For me,
stationed
it's
in
like almost
Germany,
$3 now.
No.
yeah, when I was stationed in Germany, it was expensive, but we got they sold the fuel on posts at US prices.
Well, the one thing about it is that the German manufactured cars are very fuel efficient.
Mm-hmm.
Is now the time I say I've got a VW and I'm not impressed with its consumption?
Because you're not on the Autobahn.
Well, fortunately, most of my driving is reasonably sort of, I suppose you'd call it urban. There's a couple of open roads, but generally it's me leaving my bit of town, driving in a 50 or 60 limit to another town. So it's pretty much all urban. And I'm getting right at the bottom of what VW say should be the urban fuel consumption, which is 35 to the gallon, roughly.
That's not good. We have a lot of smart cars here, because for parking more than anything.
Yeah, I mean, you could fit them in a postage stamp, can't you?
Yeah. And they are surprisingly, I would rather get in a crash in a smart car than an ordinary car, because the smart car is solid steel frame, so they can take the damage. They're a lot more stable than people think they are. They're not just plastic and fiberglass.
Good to know. I'll avoid driving into them then.
Reminds me of the time machine was built out of what the heck in the
DeLorean.
Yeah, the DeLorean, because it was made out of stainless steel.
Stainless steel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant idea that was.
And
Yeah, I
then
don't want
I've
to talk
seen
to oh, there you go.
I've seen a couple of people going around now. I looked out the window and I thought, that's a 3-wheeled smart car. They have made a 3-wheeled smart car. And I watched it go by again. That is a 3-wheeled smart car. It took it 4 or 5 times going up and down the street for me to realize it was a bicycle. but it's in a car body, right? Like a smart car. Oh, not as big, but so he's pedaling down the road in this car, and I was lost my mind there for a while.
There've
Yeah,
been three-wheelers
I've
around for
s-
ages.
yeah, I've seen one of those. It's got a car body on it. It's a bicycle underneath. You can get around by pedaling, but it also has an electric motor to get through with, and it'll recharge. If you turn the electric motor off and you're just getting around by pedaling, it recharges the battery.
Right.
Ah,
Where I used to live, oh God, 40 odd years ago, just over 40 odd years ago, our next door neighbour's a guy called Raymond. He had what was generally called a bubble car, and that was a three-wheeler. And I'm fairly sure Messerschmitt made a three-wheeler car as well.
yeah, I have seen them on some of the D-Max car shows.
And the infamous three-wheeler Reliant Robin, made famous by Only Fools and Horses. If you've seen the TV program,
No,
it's a fiberglass van, horrible bloody thing.
I remember a three-wheeler in one of the Mr. Bean
That was probably a
shows.
Reliant.
The vehicle opens. The door is the front end of the vehicle.
Oh no, not a Reliant then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that, Hank.
Yeah,
I saw that.
That would be the bubble car. It sort of swing, yeah. The front sort of is a sort of convex. It opens, yeah. That's what my neighbour had.
Yeah.
I think I remember seeing an old TV commercial about it, like made for mother to go shopping or something like that.
Yeah, they're little tiny things. It got a lot of notoriety back in the 80s or 90s with that. Forget the name of the show that had Stephen Urkel was.
Family Matters.
Family Matters.
Yep. But he drove one of those.
I always wanted one of those aqua cars. You know, one of the boat cars. Yeah.
Hey, Reaper.
Yellow.
Hello, Reaper.
So, what do you think of the new Avatar?
Very un-Reaper-like.
Well, I had to think of something, and considering I found that, oddly enough, on a window frame at an antique shop, and obviously it looks like Bill Murray, it worked for me. I was like, you know what? It's the only picture I can get on here. I might as well use it. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, it does look like Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an old window frame that I found, and I actually still have the dumb thing.
Cool.
Yeah, so I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a picture of it and turn around and use that as the avatar. That ought mess people's heads up a little bit.
Oh.
Yes, well, I have my dragon fire all ready for the iron pineapple.
Here, just for you, Rogue Nightmare. Since you got to leave soon, here you get your fix.
That needs to be a lot bigger there, Hank.
That's impressive, Hank.
You and Vilified Freedom need to have a beard growing contest.
Yeah, our beard's about the same length.
It's a lot longer than my beard, but it is around about the same colour.
Yeah. I'll probably be getting it colored. I've got a beard competition I'll be going to next month.
Okay.
I'll probably get it colored for that.
Any thoughts on the colour?
I usually go red.
Right.
Back to the color it used to be before I started going gray.
Go pink. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
There's
If I
always that
could
option.
find, if I could find something that was temporary for the pink, but the definition of temporary from the bottles that I could find that could go pink, it would last the full color of the dye for a couple of days, and then it would take a couple of months to fully fade out.
Oh,
Yes, I used temporary black hair dye on my hair when I was in the production of The King and I, because they wanted us, of course, to look more Asian, so I dyed my hair black. And at that time, my hair was long enough that I could almost sit on it, right? So I had to use like 4 bottles of hair dye. A year later, I still had coal black hair.
Yeah, I think that probably qualifies as temporary, but not in the context of hair colour.
Well, if I get
But Halloween
if I
spray
get
paint.
the dyes, when I do Santa Claus, I use it's called spraying gray. It's basically a spray paint for the beard, but it gets it a whiter gray.
Right, I think Johnny O. Plothole used some temporary spray to put bits of his beard pink.
Yeah, I looked, but I couldn't find it. I probably could have looked harder and found some online, but
I somewhat cheated. I went to my sort of local barber, and because it's 2 ladies who run it, and stuck my head round the door and said, "If you were to dye my beard temporarily pink, how much would you charge?" And they sort of looked at one another and said, "Well, we don't really do that. Being a gentleman's hairdresser, they don't really do much dyeing." And they sort of ummed and ahed and sort of came up with between £40 and £60. So I said, okay, 50 quid's a happy medium. So instead of actually getting it done, I chucked that money towards a breast cancer awareness charity.
There you
that
go.
works.
I thought, why pay the money to get it done when the money can actually go to a decent cause?
Yeah.
I was actually going to shave my beard off for my new video, just for the video, but I didn't have the heart to do it.
Yeah, last year I had to trim my beard down before my heart surgery, and it killed me having to do that.
Well, I suppose it's better than having to comb it aside to get access.
Right.
The problem was that they could have clipped it up out of the way for the surgery itself, but after the surgery, hanging over the incisions, just asking for more chance of infection.
If I can arrange it for this week, if maybe not this week, next week, I'm shaving my head.
Oh, for OPT.
I wished I would
Well,
be
Hank-
able to video it, but I don't have a camera and I don't have a phone, and so I'm afraid that, like, if I take a picture, have somebody take a picture and post it, they will just say, "Oh, it's just a wig cap." But if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, and I plan on doing it.
Personally
Yeah.
speaking, I would say your word is like your hoard gold. So if you say you've done it, you've done it.
Yeah, I haven't done it yet. I have to have somebody, I have to have my care service call the hair person to come do it. But when they can do it, I will do it. Even if it's November, I will do it. And it's not just for OPT. It's for my spouse that died of breast cancer, and another little boy that I used to watch his videos. Sadly, he passed away from neuroblastoma, but I can't give money because I don't have money to give, but I can give my hair because it's just my hair. But it means something to me,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's great.
I see just Samuel's dropped in. Welcome.
How you doing, Hank? Everybody else?
Hey, how you doing,
Okay.
Glenn?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Oh, I can't complain.
Hello, Mr. Glenn.
Uh, hello, Lady Dragon. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Pretty good.
It's good to see almost the whole crew's here. I like this. It's like all the regular people I always see when I watch your videos.
I was never one of the cool kids until I found this community. Now I'm a cool kid.
I'll tell you what, I love
Yeah.
this community. I kind of fell into it by accident just by going down the whole sovereign citizen rabbit hole. And now I
Me
find all
too.
these wonderful people, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry for laughing. I sort of spotted the title of the thing you brought up. I was about to say, is that anything like coleslaw?
Well,
Yeah,
we will
coleslaw.
watch it and find out.
Then I noticed the actual title up in the left-hand corner. I thought, yeah, okay, that's deliberately done that way.
Yep.
I'll give you guys a little background information on that real quick. The whole way I came up with that was I was watching a Radical video, but I had it muted and I had the subtitles on. And
Some
every
of these
time he
subtitles
mentioned
are hilarious.
yes, and every time he mentioned Black's Law Dictionary, the subtitle said Black's Slaw, like Black Coleslaw, Black's Law Dictionary, and I just thought that was hilarious, and that's how I came up with it.
And for a courtroom is about as much bloody use.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I figured for well, I'm bringing Hezekiah back up because his the stream I had him on early the first time got cut short, so figured do a do over with it. And when I was going picking out his videos, I figured I'd go pick one of his older videos out and
Go to
like
your
it.
room for that pun, Gary.
All right. Well, here we go.
Oh, that was brilliant.
Oh, that was wonderful. It's a good thing I muted myself because yeah.
A quick question, Hezekiah.
Yes.
The civil law one, you had a civil law. Was that deliberate because Seville's in Spain and that's where the Moors come from?
Yes.
Thank you. Good. Extra brilliant then.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, I just FYI, I didn't see it, but I could tell by the chat that everyone else was, so I didn't say anything. Also, if anyone's curious, the music is me. Most of my music is my own compositions.
Wow.
It was sort of this is not. It's supposed to be a compliment. It's sort of the music I would expect to hear in the background of a 70s ITV documentary.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. It's a 1970s documentary soundtrack.
Yep. Yep. All very intentional.
Yeah.
I always
Like
try
I
to
said,
find. No, go ahead.
Oh, I admire your humor because that takes a lot of talent. People do not realize that it is harder to be funnier than it is to be serious.
Oh, being funny is a serious business.
That's right.
Very true.
And the whole thing started, actually, that was a Reddit post of mine. And then I thought, well, I'm always looking for content for my YouTube. I should just take this Reddit post and just put it into a YouTube video.
It worked out pretty good for us, I guess.
Well, it worked out for me great, because that's how the whole thing started. I had like 20 subs, then I posted that and it went up to over 100, and then I posted another video, and then Law Talk with Mike mentioned it, and then it took off, and then again, once Schrodinger mentioned me, then that's when I blew up.
Well, you've just got one more sub.
Oh, thank you.
And I've just expanded the rabbit hole that I can drop down. So thank you.
It's a funny rabbit hole, Simon. You'll enjoy it.
No doubt.
Yeah, the last time I had him up, I showed his video frivolous lawsuit, and that it just had me cracking up laughing.
Yeah, I don't put out videos every day, but when I do, I try to keep with the quality up, as much as I can.
I think you're doing an excellent job at it, bud.
Yeah, quality over quantity anytime.
I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Sorry, yes, Binary Tools. That was something else it vaguely reminded me of. The music for a caper movie.
Yeah, that I got that part in the middle with the bass line where, like, while I was writing it, I was thinking of like someone like sneaking up behind you, like, I'm gonna get you.
And you got each definition is perfect. It's perfect.
Thank you very much.
You've set yourself a really high bar now, mate. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm on my phone, so it all depends how close the phone is to my face, how you're going to hear it.
No, I mean the quality. I mean, you set yourself a really high bar.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
so far he's taken those high bars that he sets and just using them to climb to the next round.
No pressure there, then.
Yeah, right. You're literally making me blush over here.
Hey, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you do live stream on your phone?
I did my first test run about a week ago. I'm trying to get all the, specifics sorted out to figure out how to do more live streams because I want to go live, especially I forget his name, like Cranky somebody, whatever, made a video where he was bashing Schrodinger, and I wanted to go live right away about that and just tear that dude down, but I just couldn't get my phone to cooperate with me that night.
Well,
But yeah, I
if you look-
definitely look into doing more live stuff.
Well,
Yeah,
if you look
and
just
did
to
you
the left
notice
and
he...
so if
Sorry,
you look just
Simon,
to the
go
left
ahead.
and down of Lady Dragon's Blood's avatar, that's where Cranky Pants is.
And did you notice he happened to turn off the comments for that video?
Yes, I did, because we were all blasting him. He's got 81 dislikes.
Yeah, one of them's mine.
Yeah. One of the comments was from me. I was like, because if you read the comments, he was talking about, well, poster 7 doesn't go over the Constitution. And what I said was, hey, you know what? That's fine. But then don't use poster 7 as your shield if you don't accept what poster 7 says.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there does seem a bit of an irony there, doesn't there?
Yeah.
And could you please show me the words photography and video camera in the Constitution, please?
Right.
I mean, yeah, freedom of the press does not mean that you can go video document everything. I mean,
No.
you can report on things without videoing it.
Well, not just that, but my big thing with the whole freedom of the press excuse has always been based on this idea, like, if a legitimate member of the press was there and someone said, who are you? Who are you with? They would show their press passes. They wouldn't say,
Yes.
well, don't answer questions. I don't have ID.
That's the thing. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm naive. I've never really had much to do with the press and what have you. But I'm bloody certain that to be a member of the press, you have to have official credentials. You have to be with a news organization or be accredited in some way, shape, or form. I'm sure it's one of those professions where you have to actually have qualifications or accreditation.
Well,
I
there's
knew-
qualifications and accreditations to get into certain locations, but it's not a requirement to be considered press and have a
Right.
press badge. But you can't just go show up at the football stadium and go, yeah, I'm with the press, and just expect to walk in.
Yeah.
I had a friend that was a true independent journalist. They went with their professional video camera and shot things, and they sold it to the news organizations, right? But he had official, like, UPI credentials. He wasn't affiliated with, like, NBC or CBS or Fox or he wasn't associated, but he had UPI press credentials, and he was an independent journalist.
Yeah, I've looked into it. You can get a press pass. It's not that hard. If these guys are quote unquote legitimate members of the press, they can get a press pass.
All they have to do is write and ask for permission.
Right.
Yes,
In
the
one of
trouble
my
is they have to
videos-
go to the post office first to get the stamp, send in the request for permission.
Oh.
And
In
when
one
was
of
the
my
last-
videos, I do an audit of a post office, and I say in the video, all I did was ask permission. It was that easy.
Mhm. And when was the last time you saw a um, major news affiliate doing a story inside of a post office?
Last time there was a shooting in a post office.
Yeah.
And
And
when
they don't
was the
just
last?
they don't,
How often do you see that happen?
Exactly.
yeah. And when they do, it's not just the press going wandering wherever the hell they want to. They call and make arrangements. Just like when you occasionally you'll see frauditors that are trying to trail press in when they've going in to do interviews in the city hall.
Yep.
And
Oh, there's a video. I can't think. I think it might even be S. Elmo where he does that. He's kind of following a legitimate news crew after they've told him he can't come into the courtroom, but he goes to, they let the press in a different door, so he follows the cameraman and he acts like he's with them, but boy, they slam him right at the door because they know better.
I
Yes,
actually
I remember
covered one of his videos in one of my videos where he literally, there's a legitimate press setup and he chases them away because he's legitimate press and that's his spot. And he actually made the legitimate press leave to make room for him and his stupid camera.
Oh,
Yeah, there are no words, are there? Well,
and
rather
when
there
does
are
legitimate
words, but-
press go to a sidewalk cafe in Los Angeles and film minor children? I have seen Silence.
Silence
Yeah.
Boy is a whole other animal.
I'm a lady.
That dude
I'm a
isn't
lady.
even-
I'm a lady. I will not say it. I'm a lady. I saw that man, boy, child, baby.
silent beta boy.
Yeah, outside of a Denny's in Los Angeles, taking deliberate pictures of minor children.
Yep.
Now
And
I am starting to wonder: is he filming for trafficking purposes?
he
He's
is
one of the
doing.
few.
He is filming anywhere he thinks people are going to get annoyed by him and tell him to move on.
Yes, I'd
He
like to
does
think
it all
it's-
for the confrontation.
Yeah, I'd like to think it's more for making sure there's more of a chance of him inciting somebody to react to him rather than any nefarious purposes
Mhm.
or
Well-
other nefarious purposes.
I'd like to give him the iron pineapple of flame.
We're going to run
That-
out of those bloody things soon.
Look up the pair torture, pair device torture, and you'll see all
Oh,
those
no,
articles
no,
about it.
no. Sorry. You can't see it, but I'm wincing now. I know what those bloody things are.
Yeah. But Silence Boy, this dude, he's one of the few, like, obviously we'd all like to see something happen or whatever, but realistically, I don't necessarily want it to go to violence, but Silence Boy is one of the ones that I would love to see him get his ass beat. And that's why he carries a literally illegal amount of pepper spray with him, because he knows that he's looking for trouble.
And a taser. He has a taser now as well.
And a
Okay.
bulletproof vest.
Yep.
If it happens, I hope it's videotaped and I hope it goes viral.
Yeah.
I tell you, somebody, I wouldn't mind seeing getting their ass whooped and that green cereal.
Clint
Yeah,
Serio's
he's got-
terrible
he's-
too, but at least he got his comeuppance.
Yeah, he doesn't need mace or any of that stuff. He's got his natural grotesque body odor.
I don't think he's
the
going to last
bee
much
shield.
longer. His latest content, you can tell, is all the old video that he has shot like over the last year that he never posted because it really has no content. He's going to post offices, but he's not getting reactions. So I know those are his old videos that he didn't post. But
And plus,
he's
isn't he
so
on probation right
desperate
now,
now,
too?
and his
Um,
views have gone down. And
Yeah, he's not on probation yet because he is fighting he, the conviction, so it's on hold until next month. I believe he's got his next court date. Hopefully, it'll get resolved then, so they can throw his ass in the clink for the 5 days that he's already been sentenced to, and his probation will actually begin upon his release.
Yeah, and that's another thing with all of these guys, especially the travelers. When they get pulled over for no license plate and then complain about getting pulled over for no reason, the no license plate is the reason.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but in their eyes, it's not a reason. So it's this terrible circular argument of,
Yeah.
in my eyes, it's an invalid stop, so therefore you shouldn't stop me. And there's nothing you can really do to convince them otherwise.
Yeah.
Seemingly.
Sovereign citizen arguments is based upon deflection and getting somebody stuck into a loop of an argument.
Yeah, and answering questions with questions.
Yep.
That's why they all follow the same script.
I find it best just not to argue with them anymore.
What's there to argue with? They're idiots. Period. I mean, you'd be better. I can argue with my door and get better results.
I agree.
That's not fair. Dogs are intelligent.
No, my door. My door.
What about cats?
Door. D-O-O-R.
Doors,
My
sorry,
house
doors are more
door, I can get
intelligent.
into an argument with my house door and get better results than I would with them people. I won't even lie to that.
At least the door will stay quiet.
Yeah, and if I turn the handle just right, maybe it'll actually open. If I don't forget to
There
unlock.
you go.
Well, you know, with some idiots, you go try to argue with some idiots like arguing with the brick wall. Never go nowhere.
Good point. Really.
Hey, Ben Green Eyes. Here
So, Ben Green Eyes.
Vlad the Impaler. Anybody else who's popped in that Mall Cop Sensei's in there? Anybody else I've missed saying howdy to? Howdy, and welcome. It is an open panel.
Hello, everybody in chat.
It is an open panel, open discussion. There's links pinned at the top. Anybody is welcome to join in.
Yes, that's a very valid point, Morcop Sensei. Yeah. If they've got, they've got their own facts, so you can't argue with them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's that sort of, I was going to say, inbred insensibility that they are right because they know they're right.
And like even when you show them how to read poster 7 or the other set of rules that's not on poster 7 that talks about getting permission and stuff like that. Oh, you've read it wrong. I'm sorry. I have a 4 years of college education and I don't know how to read.
Yeah. You're making the fundamental mistake of not stopping when it no longer fits their argument.
Yeah.
I honestly think that the whole poster 7 thing to them is like a joke. Like they know that most post office employees don't have time to just sit around all day memorizing poster 7. They're trying to work. And I think they think it's funny that the post office employees themselves don't know what it says. And I honestly think that's the only reason they bring it up. They think it's funny.
Yeah, I mean,
And then when they come across one that does happen to know what poster 7 says, they're all wrong, of course.
Right.
yes, and they've got to find another explanation of why it doesn't mean them.
Oh, the
Or refer
favorite
to
one
them.
is, oh, well, it abrogates the First Amendment, and it says you can't make a rule that abrogates the First Amendment. No, it doesn't, or it wouldn't be there in the first place.
And on that point,
Sign, period. Sign, no cell phones or recording devices allowed in the place, period. No exceptions. That's what they ought to do, just stick it up on the walls. And that'll turn around. If they come in there with it, arrested. Bye. Prosecution and arrested.
Well,
And I
what
think it's
they've
going to come to that.
what
It's
they've
getting
already
to that point
done,
from what I've heard.
yeah, what they've already done, and they're continuing to do is actually weaken our First Amendment rights. It's becoming harder to go and film in areas that used to be easy to film in.
They're doing exactly the opposite of what they should be doing.
that's one of the reasons why I get so mad at them.
Well, if
So-
you look at it from a certain point of view, guys, it's the same thing as if you're renting an apartment. They tell you you can't paint the walls, you can't have pets or something of that nature, or you'll be evicted. It's exactly the same thing. Somebody like that would screw it up for others, and that would turn around and then basically inflict the idea of not having these rights because of stupid assholes like that turning around and doing those things. That's the
Right.
reason why it makes it harder and harder, no matter where you go, to turn around and get an apartment, go to an actual store, or be able to turn around and stand outside your door with your video camera saying, hey, this is pretty cool. I'm seeing a rainbow or something. Nope, you can't do that now because of people like them turning around and basically inflicting their stupidity and their dumbass ideology and turning around and making it hard for people to do these things. This is the reason why these places are turning around and saying no, because they've had enough of the stupidity when it comes down to that. I mean, plain and simple, really.
Yep.
If you screw with the rules, you're gonna take the consequences. But the only problem is, it also reflects to everybody else. So how does it work out for them? It don't.
It only works for them if they're getting paid from YouTube or whatever.
That's it. But the only problem is, it's also giving them more of a harder time because now they're starting to find out that jail time is not going to be fun. If you catch my drift.
It's kind of obscure, but I always use this. They are the reason why Preparation H says do not take orally.
Yes.
That's just one of them. I mean, it even says that
Because
on
if
food
there's an
packages after a
instruction that
microwave.
says not to do it, you know somebody had to try to do it.
Same thing when it comes down to microwave foods. It says right on the package, caution, contents will be hot. If you're dumb enough to turn around and go after it, well, after you just take it out of the microwave and start, yeah, I'm going to sue somebody because I burnt my face. It's on the package for a reason, stupid. If you didn't read it, then you're an idiot.
Yeah.
I agree.
I took that from a friend of
Well,
mine.
that like that-
He's the one who used to do comedy in that kind of fashion.
Like that one time, woman that living in California stopped at McDonald's, ordered a hot cup of coffee. Well, she said between her legs, when she took off, she burnt herself.
Yeah.
And she sit there and said, that is McDonald's fault. Well, she went and sued them. She won $1 million off that. But McDonald's turned around and took her to the civil suit. And, well, they made her pay that $1 million back. Because
Yeah,
the
they
simple
appealed,
fact
didn't they?
is something she did is stupid.
Yep. I remember that lawsuit. I remember that one real well.
Yeah, it was cringeworthy, wasn't it?
It was just pure stupidity on her part, but she did it anyways. And she lost on the backside. I mean, she's even admitted it that she put it between her legs, knowing that it is hot. She turned around and decided to basically burn herself. So self-inflicted wound. They brought it into the civil court. And they won it back. So what did she get out of that one?
Yeah.
School
Not a damn thing. Not a thing. In fact, just show how stupid she was.
Mm-hmm.
And her case was actually kind of landmark because that case is considered the first case in in that time period of when there was a lot of frivolous lawsuits like that,
Yep.
they used her for the example to follow.
They
Like,
still do, actually. They
yeah.
still do.
But it was really prevalent. She was the first.
Well, you got a lot of people still doing the lawsuits because she won the money initially, but they never do the follow through to figure out that she lost in the long run. And
That's true.
I highlighted a statement from Binary that I agree with completely.
Yes.
The postal employees need to do a much better job of knowing their own rules and being able to communicate those rules effectively to the local law enforcement so they can get the trespass to stick.
I think I've mentioned this before, but whenever I've started a new job or taken on a new position or what have you, one of the things I've done is asked, what am I allowed to do? You know, what boundaries do I have in what action I can take to stop things happening?
Mm-hmm.
Well, honestly,
if I was
I
working
think
on the USPS, one of the things I would do would be to read stuff like Poster 7.
what I was going to say is that's one of the things that I think is part of their training. And I think that's why when frauditors walk in, the first thing they say is, oh, you can't film here, because they vaguely remember somewhere in the back of their head that they were told that you can't film in there, but they don't specifically know that rule.
No, they kind of go around it, actually. They go around it.
I kind of wish they'd update Poster 7 to specify areas they cannot video, like the business counter.
As strange as it may seem, it doesn't matter, honestly, Hank, because they're going to do it no matter what. That's been noted, I don't know how many times in every video so far. They keep getting told you cannot go in these areas. Stay away from these areas. Don't, it's not allowed. But they still do it anyways because they don't care. They just figure, you know what, we're going to do what we want, and we're allowed to do it no matter what they're being told.
Well, that paragraph says you can take footage in the lobbies, and the lobby is where the counters are, and that's the most important place not to be allowing photos because people's private information is being exchanged, whether it's financial or just addresses. That's still private information that deserves to be protected.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, they do it even at the UPS stores. They do it at UPS and the FedEx stores, too. I know those people that buy them in color. I actually threw one guy out myself.
But what you've got to remember is they don't take images of people's personal details because they tell you they don't.
Oh, yeah. Well,
they say it, but I've seen it.
If you rob a bank, does that mean you just have to tell the cops I didn't rob the bank?
Oh, yeah.
And you get away scot-free?
Yep. Absolutely.
And it always seems like part of their whole shtick is this whole idea like that there's no such thing as a criminal that would tell a lie. Oh, no, I'm not doing anything wrong. Okay, so how do we know that? You refuse to identify yourself. How do we know you're not doing something wrong?
Yes, that is very annoying, isn't it?
Very irritating.
Quite.
Like I said,
like Louisiana.
Huh?
Like Louisiana, Louisiana stopped in identified state, but the only time that don't require to anybody if they fear in their life something like bad happen to them. But the time when a sheriff or a cop stop you and ask you for some kind of identification, you gotta give it to them.
Well, yeah, and that's their whole thing, especially in these situations where they're like, "Well, this isn't a stop and ID state." It's like, I'm not just stopping you and IDing you. Like, I hate it. I hate it. I'm offended when they compare these people to Nazis and tyrants because it's like, I'm not just randomly stopping you and asking you for ID because I'm a jerk. You're out here doing something. I'm trying to find out who you are. That's why I'm asking you for ID, not just randomly doing it.
Nothing
And
makes me
just because you
angrier.
just because you state you're not resisting doesn't mean you're not resisting. Just because you say what you're doing is not suspicious does not mean it's not suspicious activity.
Right.
See, I hate to say to you, like the AFA crew, if they came here in Louisiana and they get pulled over, and the cop here ask them, and they don't show any identification who they are, they gonna go like sitting in jail till they do show. They will one way or another will get your identification. They will find out who you are.
Yep.
They don't need your ID to put you in jail, but you sure need it to get out.
Yeah.
Well, the fingerprint technology's there nowadays. They can ID. Actually, they can ID you by your fingerprints on the roadside. But
If they have your prints on file.
well, if you've ever had a driver's license, your prints are on file.
Oh, well, there you go.
They take your fingerprints to get a driver's license in the States.
I never did that. Well, I haven't done anything in the States since 2002, so that may have changed. But in Arkansas, you didn't do fingerprints.
It's been at least 10 years that we've been doing fingerprints with the DMV in my state.
I wondered about that. I mean, as people said, sort of, yes, as soon as they've got fingerprinted, they can identify them. But then, of course, you've got to have them in your fingerprint database. And admittedly, half of these, 3/4, 90% of these people are going to be in the fingerprint database because they've been through the court system.
Mm-hmm. Hell, when my first driver's license application, it was at least the thumb and index finger it had to be. I don't remember if it was all fingers had to be printed or not.
It's actually interesting. We don't do it for driver's licenses in Tennessee, but for a lot of other things.
Mm-hmm.
So a very large percentage of the people do have their prints on file.
I was actually surprised I didn't have to when I did my passport. I would have thought that would have been one place that they would have required it, but they didn't.
That would make sense. I never really thought about that, but no, you don't even have to appear in person to get a passport.
No.
Oh, come on, be fair. How many large red popcorn-eating dragons are there?
I know the only people here in Louisiana that got the fingernail prints on file is these dumbass criminals.
Well, a majority of your frauditors have a criminal record, so.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And guess what? They had to take fingerprints. They can take a picture of you, run it through the computer, and guess what? They can, either way they go, they can still find out who you are.
Hell, if they got to go to old school methods to figure out who you are, it might take a few weeks.
There was a sort of video last day or two of a First Amendment auditor in the UK.
Yep.
And a couple of policemen approached them and just
was one
went
of
on a verbal description. And about 15 minutes later, they came back and said, "Oh, hello, Ashley. Yes, we know who you are."
Yep. That was one of Frog's videos that was on my show Wednesday. And I'm betting that they got his picture off the CCT in the parking lot.
Facial recognition is getting almost to the point of science fiction.
Yeah.
Especially in a place like the UK where they have so much closed circuit TV.
Well, facial recognition will narrow down, but unless you get the right angles to be able to get the enough points of for facial recognition, like the cameras that are using facial recognition to open them up, that's because you're having to use the correct angle to get enough of the reference points.
Hank, thank you let me up. I want to jump down. I'll be in
All
chat.
right. Thanks for
See you,
coming
Glenn.
up,
All right.
Cheers, Glenn.
Take it easy.
How you doing, Malkop Sensei?
I'm not too bad. Not too bad. Busy day yesterday. Kind of taking it easy today. Wanted to talk about this stuff. Start talking about the frauditors and the access and things like that. I was like, okay, this is what I do. So it always piques my interest. And I wanted to say hello to Hez. What's up, buddy?
How you doing?
We got to get together and get that movie made one of these days.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I sent Hez a killer script that I can't wait to see what he does with. I really. No spoilers.
Yeah, no, that's a work in progress, but it's definitely something I'm looking forward to. Yeah, definitely.
I got to start making content of my own one of these days. I keep saying that, but it's a crazy time right now.
It's definitely it's not easy to squeeze in the time. I got 4 kids, I got a full-time job. I'm trying to do as best as I can, but it's worth it.
You guys amaze me that put out so much stuff, man. How do you find the time?
It's hard.
Well,
Sometimes I gotta wait until all the kids are asleep and everything's quiet and try to film at night and not get too loud. And sometimes it could be a real pain, but it's rewarding.
Then you got Unclean Hands that consistently doing a couple videos a day, and they're
He's-
Crazy.
He's the master, man. I love Unclean Hands. Like when he drops a new video, I get all excited when it's in my notifications. Like, oh man, I gotta check that out.
Oh, but yeah, we're talking about this post office things, and I said something in the chat. I train private security mostly for hospitals, and we know it's kind of only a matter of time before they start showing up there. And
they try already.
Yeah, what we're trying to get down to all of our people is get facility management involved early intervention, early trespass. Get them trespassed as soon as you can. Get law enforcement involved as soon as you can, and just document. Take as many pictures of them. Get as much information about them as you can. Ask them for their ID. They're probably not going to give it to you, but ask them anyway. It's perfectly acceptable for us to ask. Yeah, that's kind of the best that we can do so far.
It depends state to state, but a lot of jurisdictions, it does not take a police officer telling you to leave to be considered criminal trespass.
No, absolutely not. I know in Tennessee, Tennessee's the law that I'm most familiar with because that's where I teach. But yes, in Tennessee, you're criminal trespassing before the police get there.
Yep. But the auditors played off that it's not trespass until the cops tell them they're trespassing.
No, and there may be some jurisdictions that are like that, but nothing where I've ever worked. And another thing, and nobody's ever going to go ahead.
None of the ones that I have been, when they make the argument and I can identify what state they're in, none of those states required the police to tell you you're trespass to be considered criminal trespass.
And most of the time, and I will say, as a practical consideration, most of the time the police will show up and give the person one more chance to leave because the cops don't want to arrest anybody. It's just more work for them. But they are not required to. They can just show up and hook them up.
Yeah, and the frauders are taking that inch and running a mile with it.
Absolutely. And another thing, and no sort of corporate entity or anything is ever going to run with this, but in Tennessee and in most jurisdictions, because I've looked at a lot of states, force is legally authorized to protect yourself from theft or an unauthorized trespass. Reasonable force. So yes, these people that complain about it, like, oh my God, he touched me, he pushed me out the door. Yes, that is absolutely lawful most anywhere in the U.S.
like Liar, I mean Long Island Audits, when he was given that security guard the big time, and he
Yes.
filed assault charges
I
on
know
him
exactly what
because
you're talking about.
he was preventing him from going up the stairway to an area
Yes.
he did not belong in.
Oh, Phil
Yes.
the hero.
Which I actually
Yeah.
looked up because that was in Connecticut, I think.
Yes, it
Then
was.
the-
I looked up that statute, and yes, that security guard was absolutely within his lawful rights to do that.
And
Yep.
the thing about it is, when Liar
Yeah.
showed the police the video to work against Phil, right? Phil, the
Yes.
security guard.
Well, the security guard, yes, now I remember, yeah.
They piled on 6 more charges to Liar.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, these, no.
And I'm looking, I put in the words hospital audit in the YouTube search. There are 6 right on the top.
Yeah. Well, we had a guy, a lesser known guy, Good Citizen News. He was in our area a few months ago, so I had all my people on very high alert. I had his picture up at every one of my hospitals that I have people in, so he would have not received a warm reception there.
Are you in
laying him off? They arrested him down in Dade County, across the state line in Georgia, and he got kind of scared off by that. But
Are you in the Nashville area by any chance?
Chattanooga.
Well, one of my favorite targets is supposedly heading toward the Nashville area to audit.
Okay.
Little PP Payne.
Oh yeah. There's somebody who's Preston News Now, Nashville, or something like that. We've got somebody on our side in that area. Well, and Nashville PD does not screw around. He will enjoy himself.
Yeah, he is so. I mean, the only thing keeping a channel going for him is he's the only one believing his own lies.
Yeah. Well, honestly, no, I guess Russellville and Logan County, Kentucky, is a lot different than the last time I was there. But I mean, when I knew some of those guys 15 years ago, and he might not have lived to make a video. He'd have gotten. They'd have found him in a cave somewhere up in.
Yeah. When I was a kid growing up, you did not fuck around with the small town cops.
No, absolutely not. I was a small town cop about 15 years ago, and it was a department that if you needed an ass kicking, it was really no big deal for you to get it. And I tell you, I do not miss wearing a badge at all until I start seeing some of these First Amendment auditors and SOB sits. Then I'm like, oh, I wish I could go take these people to jail.
You can always pull a Josh Abrams and make a citizen's arrest.
It is really funny. That's another touchy subject for me because that is the only thing that as security officers we can do in Tennessee. We arrest people just like private persons. So I know probably more than the average bear about how arrest by private person laws work. And I know that if you screw that up, you're in deep shit.
Yeah. Well, the auditors that use it are all fucking it up left and right.
Yes. And it is
that's why Josh Abrams is, once he gets out of Massachusetts prison, he's got to go to Indiana, I believe it is, to face charges on impersonating a police officer and I think it's unlawful
detention, false imprisonment. It depends on the state as to what it's called. It's different states call it different things.
Yeah.
It's false imprisonment in Tennessee. It's a Class B misdemeanor and can very easily be aggravated into a felony. There's not very many things that have to fall into place for it to become felony kidnapping in Tennessee. It's something you don't screw around with.
I'm sorry, but I cannot hear the word citizen's arrest without seeing Gomer going down the street chasing after Barney. Citizen's arrest! Citizen's arrest! Citizen's arrest!
Actually, funny story. I was working in Nashville teaching guards and talking about citizen's arrest because it's a huge part of what we do. And guy raises his hand back there and he's like, "Sir, do you have to be a citizen to be able to do this?" And I was like a deer in headlights. Anybody that's ever taught has had a moment like this where somebody asks you a question. He's like, I don't know. I felt like an idiot. And then I thought the guy was just being like a wise ass, but he wasn't. He wasn't a citizen. He was here on a green card. Legit question. And in Tennessee, you don't. I don't know about other places. In Tennessee, it's actually called an arrest by private person. The word citizen's arrest is nowhere in our statutory language. But yeah, I just felt like the biggest jerk in the world for not knowing.
Yeah, and most states, it has to be a felony for the citizen's arrest to even
in Tennessee,
whatever the term.
Yeah. In Tennessee, it is not, but in some states it does. There are a lot of states that are wanting to get rid of their citizens arrest provisions. Georgia, after that incident that happened last year, their legislature is talking about just doing away with the whole concept of it. So, which won't really affect much of anybody except for private security officers.
Yeah.
Because we do still occasionally have to put people under arrest.
I think the citizens arrest law in the UK is a bit similar to what you mentioned, Hank. I speak from a position of absolutely no knowledge whatsoever. But from what I understand, in the UK, you can do a citizen's arrest if the prospect of a successful criminal prosecution is high.
Okay.
Which means, what the F does that mean to Joe Public?
That's a fancy British way of saying probable cause.
Yeah.
Which, again, is a concept that we can sit here and talk about all day. I mean,
Yeah.
And it's only if you successfully do it, you're only able to stop them moving away until a proper policeman actually comes and sorts the situation out.
Yes.
That's the way it is in Germany. You can, if you see someone actually committing the crime, you can hang on to them till the Polizei arrive.
Yes.
I've actually seen it tried in the UK. I can't remember what it was for now because it was back in the early 80s. And it involved somebody with an umbrella. That's what I can remember.
If I'm not mistaken, here with our security guards here in Texas, they don't do a citizen's arrest, but they're able to detain somebody until the police arrive.
Pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Rose Bay, any other name.
Yeah. Well, see, it's actually pretty funny. In Tennessee and in a lot of jurisdictions, the reason why security officers do have to occasionally make an arrest is because we don't have the power to detain without arrest. We really only have two levels. You know, we have, hey, you're under arrest, or have a nice day. So if we want to break up a fight or do something and that's the reason why most of my guys usually will end up making an arrest is because it's breaking up a fight. And the only way we can physically restrain them at all is to put them under arrest. But even then, we're just immediately handing them over to law enforcement.
I think the intent behind the detain them until the police got there, because then the police could come and make the determination whether it was an arrestable offense or not.
Yes.
Or cite. It might just be a cite and release. It might be a verbal warning. Or it might be, you screwed up. He didn't do anything wrong.
But it's Texas. They might just be coming, with a mop to clean up the blood.
Yeah. Well, we got some security guards that do things outside of their realm of training, and it does not always end well.
I instruct security guards for a living. Don't get me started.
Yeah. I mean, good intentions only go so far.
Yes, absolutely. We have a case in Memphis. The big company that's buying the company I work for now have a big case in Memphis now that's not good. Not good.
Yeah. There's security for one of the nightclubs in my area that they took this big old boy and slammed him against somebody's car, and it caused a few $1,000s worth of damage.
Yeah, I can see that, especially now the way cars are now. Shit, it doesn't take much.
Yeah.
Well, hey guys, I'm gonna drop off panel, okay? So I'll be in the chat.
Fine.
Alright.
There's
I have
there's
to-
two dogs on the panel now. We're running off everybody.
No, I gotta drop off because my phone's about to die and I gotta plug it in. So
I hear you.
All right.
Later,
Well,
Reaper.
thanks for coming up.
hey, no problem, guys. I'll catch you. I'll be in the chat though.
Well,
Take it
gonna
easy.
go ahead and show another. Gonna go ahead and show another one of Hez's videos here.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I've got to mute myself or you won't hear it for the laughter.
I make no promises.
Well, this one's not too much for the laughter, but it's got a great message. It's the First Amendment is the title. You want to say anything about it, Hez, before I start it up?
I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I hope. If not, I can answer questions after.
Yeah.
You bully. Coward.
Mommy here, motherfucker. Totally.
Oh, this.
Sir, I don't have to speak to you. You work for me, okay? Let me get out of my way.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream. My poor little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day, down in Alabama, with its vicious racists, with its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification. One day right now in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today. Dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, and every hill and mountain shall be made low, the rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This is our hope. This is the faith that I go back to the South with. With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. This will be the day when all of God's children be able to sing with new meaning, my country tears of thee. Sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true. And so let freedom ring. From the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire, let freedom ring. From the mighty mountains of New York, let freedom ring. From the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania, let freedom ring. From the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado, let freedom ring. From the curvaceous slopes of California. But not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi, from every mountainside. Let freedom ring, and when we allow freedom ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
I'm sorry, I can't watch that and not get emotional.
And see, now this is why I did that. Because these frauditors, these people there, they're always talking about the First Amendment, like, because it allows them to swear at cops, because it allows them to be a jerk. And it's like, do you people not understand your history? How much he fought to get that speech done? How many people fought against the idea of him giving that speech? Like, that was the free speech of the Constitution being used to allow him to speak. People did not want him to do that. That's what the First Amendment really stands for, is this fight for stuff like that to happen, not the fight for being able to go up to a cop and say, F you, you stupid pig.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Hezekiah.
You're welcome. Wow.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm sorry, I'm a mess right now.
Oh my God, I went from humor to making people cry.
What an honor it would have been to hear him give that live. What an honor it would have been. And I hope
Absolutely.
those people in that crowd never forget that day.
I'm sure they didn't.
My overwhelming feeling is how friggin' sad it is that somebody had to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's got to go down as one of the more powerful speeches going.
Ever.
It's tough because I really feel like all the way through when I was, growing up and getting out of high school, right through the 90s, we were really making a lot of progress. And now it just seems like we're not. It seems like we're moving in the wrong direction again.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it gets emotional for me.
Well, and it hits double for me because where the city I come from in Arkansas does not have the best reputation. And it is known as the headquarters of the KKK. Tom Robb lives there. And it's a very hard stigma to fight, but I can remember it was a little before my time, but I remember the Little Rock Nine. And 9 little children had to fight for the right to go to school because of the color of their skin. And they had to fight for that right. And I have to stand here and watch somebody like Silence Boy and Liar make a mockery out of that by comparing themselves to Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King. I'm sorry.
Absolutely. And I say this in a lot of these, in response to a lot of these videos, these frauder videos too. It's not like there's nothing you can go fight for that really needs to be fighting for. There's plenty of stuff out there that's wrong. You know, pick a proper hill on which to die.
Exactly.
There's still plenty out there. I'm not a huge fan of tons of stuff our government, for example, does. Sorry, I'm getting worked up. Getting like Artie. I gotta go rub on my dog. Come on. I miss Artie. I hope he hurries back.
His brother's wedding is this weekend. He's in Texas for his brother's wedding.
He's in Texas for his brother's wedding. I think he said he'll be back next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see the way things are now. I'm like, no, this is not what it was supposed to be.
Well, I'm just kind of glad that the message I was trying to put got through, because I'll tell you the truth. When I was making,
I mean, you nailed it, bud.
When I was making that video. Well, that's like I say, when I was making that, I was afraid that people might take it the wrong way or interpret it the wrong way, because there's so much of that going on nowadays. That I was like, you know what? If I'm going to do it, I'm going to go all in and I'm going to do it right.
Well, I guess rule number one of free speech is have something to say.
Yes.
And Dr. King did, and these frauditors don't. What are they trying to say? What's their message? What's the speech that they're advocating?
Give me money.
Yeah,
give me money.
It's not. It's. Yes, I'm having to. I got to rub on the dog. Got to stay calm. Come here, bud. Yes.
Maybe play a funny one now to get that, so that we don't get too down.
Yeah, let's see some fezzes and
Yeah, of course. When I want Sammy to come up and so I can give him a rub, does the cat show up? No.
Well, my dogs both think I'm insane because I'm talking to myself. They're like, Dad, there's nobody here. What are you doing?
So it was so funny the other night. Do you know the Balamar, the Bass Fish channel?
Yes.
And you know how he has his animation of the fish, right? I was watching his video. Sammy tried to eat the fish.
That's a fish. I guess that's a ringing endorsement for whoever did that graphic.
Yeah, I was typing something on the keyboard, and all of a sudden, my laptop took a big rock, like it was gonna go back, and I looked up, and he was trying to eat the fish off the screen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, this is a good one.
Oh, this is frivolous lawsuit.
Yes, it is.
Need more hats and blankets.
Well, of course.
Man, these tyrants are out of control, bruh. I thought you were a lawyer, now you say you can rap. Well, listen to your record, man, go take a nap. The rhymes you're spitting out, they make you sound like a nut. Your latest track, it's got less views, nothing on stereo's butt. Well, you say you're just a man who wants to smoke some weed, but you smoke yourself stupid, boy, get the help that you need. You think you could be like Tom McDonald, be an internet star? The problem is your brain's so tiny, it would fit in this jar.
It's a frivolous lawsuit.
You know you're gonna lose.
Frivolous lawsuit.
Now watch me play the blues.
frivolous lawsuit.
You put against cat.
Frivolous lawsuit.
Make sure you wear the hat. All parties have been sworn in. I've read your complaint.
It's a frivolous lawsuit.
The way it's written, it sounds like you've been smoking paint.
That commentary was perfect.
I thought I had seen this one, so I was ready. Apparently, I had not seen this one. I'm dying.
That is like a frivolous lawsuit.
That is more of his than I ever cared to see.
No, that was Glenn Serio's butt, not mine.
Oh, okay. Well, that's even worse. Oh,
Not sure
I
how to
love that
say
one, but
this.
my all-time favorite one though is the guy in the car praying to Schrodinger's cat.
Yeah. That was what introduced me to Hez. That was the first Hezokuai video I saw. And I'd had this script idea kicking around in my head, and I saw that video. I was like, okay, this is who I need to send this to. This guy right here.
I think I'm about to flush all credibility and self-respect down the tubes when I say I think I actually recognise Glenn Serio's butt in that.
I
Well, it's from a Glenn video.
Yeah.
Well, it's from one of Teleklein's videos.
Yeah.
Glenn.
Yes. It was
Well, yeah, the
great.
specific clip I used, yeah.
She was on a panel somewhere last week, but I don't think they ever could get her to actually say anything. I don't know if she was having technical difficulties or what. I would love to hear from her.
She tried keep on dropping in and out. On, Hanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't. It all runs together in my head.
Well,
I've had 9 concussions. Give me a break.
It's been a couple of months since she was on my stream.
Yeah. Well, this guy says she was somewhere just last week, and I don't think they could ever get her up. I don't think they could ever hear her.
She did come up. I want to say it was one of Marvel Girls.
Possibly. She did a lot like Sweet. So
Oh, she came up and she had to leave real quick because her grandchildren showed up.
okay, maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
You got my Halloween special queued up?
Yeah.
That was a good use of the First Amendment.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah.
Where in the First Amendment does it mention the use of sick bags? And that's not about the rap or anything of that ilk, as I'm sure you know, Hezekiah. That bit in the middle. That sounds bad.
No, I know. It's weird because the whole thing with the guitar solo was that like I had to put something in during that, and I already had the Glenn Serio's butt clip in there from earlier in the song, so I just copy and pasted it in. And some people think I put it too long, and some people think the fact that it's on there so long is what makes it so hilarious. So it seems divided 50-50.
You might want to think about re-releasing it with a warning.
You're right.
At least give folks a warning not to be watching this while they're trying to consume food.
Spit take alert.
Yeah. It's well.
All right, Kaylee, I do have an email. It should be in on my channel now. And if you're going to my channel anyway, please read. I've got a rant that I did in my discussion section last week that I'm trying to get some feedback on. I'm actually working on some class material. And it's something I might want to make a video of eventually too. It's about some of the language that we're using to describe some of these frauditors and how we might need to change it to make our point a little better. So if you're going anyway, please take a minute and read that.
I'm sorry, more cops inside. Did you just say you were working on a story?
No, I'm working on some material. Working on a part of a lesson plan.
Right.
Oh, easy, guys. Whoa, I'm getting dogs agitated. Don't calm down.
Really? Uh-huh.
Guys, I don't want to have to shoot you.
And the cat said what? Oh, it did. Well, did you put the cat up the tree? Oh, he muted.
I think translated, that was the dog saying, if you show that butt again, I'm going to crap in your shoes when you're sleeping.
Nice.
Okay. I think I've got him calmed down now. That's Carl. He's the guy in the avatar there.
Nice. He's cute.
It was actually hilarious. I was on just on the chat in a stream sometime last month when Carl, the Order of the Squirrel guy, came in.
Uh-huh.
And everybody was talking to him, and my dog was just completely losing his shit. Because everyone was like, "Oh, hey Carl, what's up? My dog was like, "Who are these people that keep talking to me? Why can't I find them?" He's calmed down now. He just wanted some attention.
Who let the dogs out?
I was gonna say dead air, dead air, dead air, dead air, dead air.
It happens. It's Sunday. It's like I've got stuff I need to get up and do today. I just feel like doing it, and I want to be back in time for Schrodinger tonight.
Yeah, he's got a couple of them, hasn't he?
His Sunday thing is pretty much his regular deal. He'll premiere something at 5:30 and then stream at 6.
Or
I just wish it
10:30 and 11
wasn't so
for me.
late.
Yeah. Well,
I
which
can't-
completely screws you UK guys. It really does.
Yeah, and us
Ladies
German
Dragon.
ones too.
Ladies Dragon Ball is worse than me because you're an hour ahead of me.
Yeah, I'm Greenwich +1.
Yeah, because you're 20 to 9 now, aren't you?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I always hate when I catch somebody's stream after the fact. I'll be watching it and I'll catch myself trying to type a comment going, nope, damn it.
Oh, yeah, I've done that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hey, do any of you guys know if Kick ever heard back from PayPal Payne or whatever with those pictures he was supposed to send him?
Of course not. He did hear back from him. I saw the email about how he couldn't find the pictures or something, and then more threats.
Oh, how convenient.
Yeah.
I'm sure Kick will be on Schrodinger's chat stream tonight. He almost always is. So.
I think Kick's avatar is in it.
Yeah.
For the,
He's hilarious. Kick doesn't want anything on his own channel anymore. He's too busy on everybody else's to maintain his own. He's a rock star.
And it's funny, you're writing something for Hezokuai, and I'm writing something for Kick and Artie and SC and Marvel Girl. It's a
Nice.
Civil War story. I'm telling a story, and then they're going to do it through their Civil War letters.
How did that start? How in the world did that start? Because that is hilarious.
Artie and Blue Bacon were conversing back and forth, and one of them started, and the other one just continued with it.
Oh my god! And that is one of those things. I look at it, it's like, why is this funny? Why is this making me laugh hysterically? And I can't explain it, but it is hilarious.
Yep.
And the way I've written it is Artie is going to be the sovereign citizen. Kick is the auditor, the frauditor. SC is kind of the neutral party, but he's all pro-military. And then a Marvel Girl is their sister at home whom they're writing back and forth to.
Oh my God, that's gonna be great. Oh, that's gonna be great.
And when Kick does his Civil War letter reading voice, that's amazing.
Blue Bacon. Blue
That's
Bacon.
good too.
His back and forth with Artie was just classic.
I think I caught like the second or third time they've done it. So but instantly, as soon as I heard the voice, I was like, "Oh my God, it's King Burns, Civil War!" I didn't even realize that's what they were doing, but that's exactly what they were doing.
Yeah.
Artie did one on history one time, but he did something as a Civil War letter, and he played the Ashokan farewell in the background.
Yes. Easy, buddy.
You're a good boy.
Hi, Taylor Klein. I blame you.
Tough being a dog, I know.
I blame you.
Unclean's back.
I blame
I got
you
the
for having
notification
that.
on your video. I'll watch it.
I blame you, Taylor, for having that video of Glenn Serio's butt wobbling that Hezekiah was able to use for his.
What was utterly disgusting is that's how he showed up for court.
That's the thing
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't understand, because initially I just saw him on his exit in, I was about to say the whistle, but you wouldn't understand that rhyming slang, whistle and flute suit, and just thought that's how he went. But no, he turned up in that whatever the hell it was. First, how could you think? I mean, I dress casually. I mean, I invariably in t-shirts. I don't have a suit. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with my nephew's wedding next year. But yeah, if I had to go to court, I would think, I better look respectable.
Well, if
that's just court nowadays.
I was a larger girl, still am, but I always went out of my way to dress nicely. I never wore tight clothes. I never wore short shorts. I took pride. You know, I could be big, but I still took pride in the way I looked. You know?
Yeah.
You don't, it's because you're
Hey,
big
Tella.
doesn't mean you're sloppy.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's just court. You go to court nowadays, and you'll see way more of that than I'm comfortable with. I was in court for a matter a few years back, and I actually wore a shirt and tie like I was supposed to. And I swear I had like 4 different people try to hire me. It's like, hey, man, you here representing somebody? No, I'm just an adult, dude.
And when I was a kid, people used to dress to travel.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
When you got on an airplane, a lady wore a dress and a man wore a suit. I've got pictures of my parents when they went to Disneyland in 1960s. Now, granted, my dad did not have on a suit coat, but he had on a short sleeve suit shirt and a tie. And my mom had a skirt and heels. You know, and people were similarly dressed. People dressed to go out in public.
Oh,
hey, Tella, I gave you a wrench. Go ahead and drop the link to your channel so folks can go get that haven't subbed to you can go see some of your work.
Tella's here. I didn't even see that. Tella, hello.
Oh, hello, Tella.
Huge, massive admiration. Good on you. You and that teenage kid, I can't remember his name, that harasses the hell out of Glenn all the time.
Braxton,
that's it.
Braxton Fielding.
Eventually, Serio is going to go on probation, and I can't wait for a 2-year-long probation compliance audit.
I'm still if there's a way for him to violate his probation while he's serving his 5 days in jail, he will probably do it.
Well, I mean, you make an ass of yourself in jail. They have other ways of dealing with that. They'll just leave you in jail. So, jail is one of those places where you don't really mess around much. I guess theoretically his probation wouldn't start until he's out. So
When he goes to jail and drops the soap, that will be the one time guys scatter.
Oh yeah. Well, he'd be the only person in the world to actually have the soap handed back to him.
Yeah.
Here you go, bro. You need this. You need this more than I need that ass. But I do.
There you go, Hez. There's a sketch for you. Glenn Serial's bar of soap.
Yes.
the loneliest bar of soap in the world.
I could just see a very unhappy, crying bar of Irish Spring.
Nice.
Like the old Maytag repairman.
Oh yeah.
He just sits there alone. Well, I do see he has the hardest working flip flops on earth.
Yeah. So with a slightly broken version of Brahms' Lullaby playing in the background.
Yeah. Glenn just, that's the thing about Glenn Serio stuff. It just writes itself. I mean, you don't have to be creative to make fun of Glenn. You don't even have to make fun of Glenn. You just play videos of Glenn, and it's making fun of him.
Well, Glenn Serio's bar of soap is probably old enough to drink legally and no.
Oh,
It's still unused.
Glenn Serial's bar of soap wants a bottle of bleach.
Yeah. What does soap do when it feels unclean?
Oh man.
Man, I'm gonna think about that the rest of the day now.
And even Lifebuoy runs away.
Oh, Glenn. I wish
What's the brand of soap? It's been so long. Not that it's been so long since I bought soap, but American brands of soap. What's the one with the little grains in it?
Oh, Lava.
Oh yeah.
Lava soap. Yeah,
That's
awesome.
what he
Actually,
needs.
Glenn just needs like a sandblaster.
Sorry, bars of soap with what in?
It's got little grainy bits in it
It's
too.
pumice stone.
Oh,
Ground
no,
up
pumice stone.
Yeah.
I
For like
wondered if you
mechanics
meant
and
pumice stone.
stuff. It was
Right.
mainly made for mechanics and people with
Right,
greasy
okay.
hands.
Yeah.
Sorry, unclean. He's got to change his
Unclean
name
hands.
now.
That's funny.
Funny, I was just thinking about you when that was being talked about, unclean hands.
Oh boy, we are so constructive today on this Sunday.
Yeah.
I actually
Glenn Serio needs to get an industrial degreaser for soap.
Sandblaster.
Oh man.
Just an industrial sandblaster.
I don't even know if that would be enough for him.
What
No, but it'd be fun to try.
Oh, what have I just suddenly thought that if he had a soap and a rope, it would hang itself?
Well played. Or drape the rope out the window and escape.
Yes.
I always gave my dad a bar of Old Spice soap on a rope for Christmas, and he always thought that was the greatest Christmas gift. Oh.
I actually did an unboxing and testing video for Dr. Squatch, but I haven't edited it yet. I don't know if I want to post it or not, just because it's so off subject from what I've normally been doing.
What is a Dr. Squatch? I'm sorry, if I'm not hip.
It's a type of soap. It's a brand of soap. It's all natural, organic soap.
All right.
They got humorous commercials.
I see.
I have no idea whether the soap is any worth a damn or not, but
Well, that was what I was, because they've been advertising it so much, I decided to try it. And then I was like, well, since I got a YouTube channel, I'll film it and, talk about a review of it and all that. But then, like I said, the whole sort of unboxing genre just doesn't seem like it's too much my thing. I got the footage, I got it, but I don't know.
You wait and see though, Hez. This unboxing of a soap video will get like 10 million views, because that's what weird ass kids want to see nowadays. I feel old.
Yeah, right?
I'm not that old, but man, do I feel old.
Strawberry tea.
My kids love to watch videos of other people playing video games. It's like, why don't you play the video game?
Yeah.
So what is goop? I mean, I think I know what it probably is, and it's probably equivalent to something we have in the UK called swafega. It's green goopy stuff that's used as a hand cleanser for getting grease off your hand.
Yeah.
I'm assuming
That's it exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
The 8 or 9 people that we have left in the States that still actually like get their hands dirty and work with physical things, yeah, they need special soap to actually get clean. We're all just become a bunch of pansies.
So this may not be appropriate, but I used to work with a young lass whose fetish was a diver suit filled with swafega, or goop, what you want to call it.
Hey yo. Hey, we don't kink shame here.
Yeah.
I used to use Goop. It's good soap.
Goop is good. I can't remember what it's got in it that works so well, but yeah, it's really good stuff. It's disgusting, but it's good stuff.
Yeah, I've got a gallon of it in the mudroom for when I'm
Next to the diver suit?
Fast orange. That's what I was trying to think of. That's the thing that all the mechanics and stuff tend to use now.
Yeah.
It's like liquid lava, basically, except it's got citrus in it, so it cleans even better, and it smells better.
and it doesn't dry your hands out near as bad as Goop did.
Yes.
Because Goop would get your hands clean, but then you had to use like half a bottle of lotion to keep your hands from cracking.
Yeah. When I was in the gun business and cleaning lots and lots and lots of guns, I actually had to start swapping up some of the stuff I was using to clean it with, because it was just destroying my hands cleaning dozens of guns a day. It's like, this is not good.
I can remember when I was a kid, there was this product called Dippity Doo, and you dipped it was kind of like Goop, but you put it in your hair when you set your rollers. Yeah.
I think the hipsters may be bringing stuff like that back nowadays.
Pomade made a big return with that movie Brother War for Us.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was a great movie.
That was
I got one more of Hez's videos to share.
Okay, that's cool. I said eventually I do have to get on with my day, but right now I'm having fun.
And this is Hez's Halloween.
Take me away. Binary, you're old like the rest of us.
In a post-apocalyptic reality, where none can leave their home safely. My only weapon, a phone. The battery's almost dead. I barely have enough charges. I need to be able to play copyrighted music. I hope I'll be able to survive. I need supplies. I'm almost done. There's food in the shed. I know there's food in the shed. I have to go. Oh, I have to go. Please, please, please. There is
There's no expectation of privacy in public.
There is no expectation of privacy in public.
No, please, no. If you don't want to be filmed, you should stay home. First Amendment protected activity. You shouldn't leave your homes if you don't want to be filmed. Oh no, copyright. That'll buy me a few seconds. Gotta get into shut. Come on. Oh, come on. The light outside, not inside. Come on, where's that supply? There's no expectation of privacy in public.
That's a war free world where everyone has to be afraid to leave their house.
Stop it! No!
I just noticed the ladle and the gold chain for S. Elmo and Whisk Boy. It went right by me the first time.
Oh yeah, that's great. You are the man.
It's the little details that you throw into your videos that just...
Yeah, that was the idea. Like, he got transformed into a zombie. I got transformed into a frauditor. So, yeah, in fact, I literally have the ladle right here.
Whoa, wait a minute. Frauditors and zombies are different things?
Not really.
I think that's a false syllogism based on the fact that all zombies are brainless.
Yep. But yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned that, because I did. I went out of my way to put my hat sideways and put the gold chain and hold the thing and with the ladle instead of the whisk, and
It's perfect.
Thank you.
Oh, that's great. Well, guys, I'm gonna head out of here. All this cereal talk, I gotta go take a shower.
Yeah.
Get on with a few things I got to take care of today, but it's been fantastic. Your stuff is great. I look forward to seeing more of it. Hank, thanks for letting me on, let me ramble on for a while. I will take over if somebody lets me. So,
well, you're always welcome up on the panels.
All right, brother. I like to think I contribute, maybe make people a little bit smarter about stuff, or at least make other people look better.
Yeah.
Have a good day, Mopcop.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers, Mopcop, and keep your tasers charged.
Always. I'm a much bigger fan of OC spray though. Taser is of limited utility. It really is.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good one.
All right.
For everybody in chat, it is an open panel, open discussion. If y'all want to come on up, the link's at the top, pinned at the top. Feel free.
And for my next stupid question, What does the OC in OC spray actually stand for?
Somebody's got to have Google in front of them.
Oops. Sorry, I just assumed it was me that didn't know. Sorry.
I used to know it.
Because to me, it means
Capsaicin
character.
Capsaicin spray. I can't say it. Capsaicin spray.
Oh,
it's the
capsicum.
type of pepper.
Capsaicin. Yeah, that's a stuff in hot pepper.
Some words I have a trouble twisting around my tongue. For the ingredient.
Right.
Nice. Yeah, that is a little bit stronger than regular black pepper.
Yeah. And actual pepper spray, it's effective to rinse it out with water. OC spray, water just makes it worse.
Oleo resin capsicum.
Yep.
Having got web searches available to me. Right.
I was just curious. In Germany, you can carry it, but you have to have a license.
I suppose that's fair, since it's treated as an offensive weapon.
And it
Or
says here, the
can be.
use of it against any person generally constitutes an assault in the EU.
Yeah.
So, but it has to be licensed.
Most of the auditors that I've seen using OC spray are using it in an offensive manner, not a defensive manner.
And a lot of them use bear spray, which is even worse, is it not?
Bigger containers, all.
Well, it'll need a bigger can to get the bear inside.
To get the bear inside?
It's
Well, you mean
usually
it doesn't spray bears at people?
No. That would be a good spray to have, though.
It would certainly get rid of certain people.
And they like to use the colored kind that stains people when they spray it.
Yeah. But the big advantage with the bear spray, it normally has a greater distance that it will shoot.
Yeah, I guess you probably want to get the bear further away from you.
Yeah. Although bear spray would be a last resort, because if it doesn't work to scare them away, all it does is piss them off.
Yeah.
Well, if you weren't in trouble beforehand, you will be after you spray them if it doesn't scare them away. Like if you hit a mama bear with her cubs around, it's going to have the opposite effect that you want to have on her.
I can imagine.
Well, we've been going for a little over 2 hours.
Good God, yes.
If anybody's got anything they want to bring up from chat, now's your last chance. That will start. You have any parting words, Lady Dragonblood?
Oh, just glad to be up here because this is my one chance I get to talk to actual people and good friends, and everybody have a great week and a great evening.
Alrighty.
Very great seeing you.
Ooh, I've been promoted to an actual person. Excellent. One up from a sack boy.
Yes.
Thank you for having me again, Hank. And it was nice meeting Hezokuai and Ladies Dragonblood as ever. I'll get a bottled or
Yes,
popcorn
thank
in
you.
for the next week.
You take care, Simon.
And hello and goodbye, everybody in the chat.
All right. Hezekiah, you got anything?
No, just thank you all for coming out. Always good. Always having a good time. and we'll see you in the next video.
Alrighty.
Wait.
Well, I want to thank everybody who showed up, came up on the panel, especially Hezokuai. Keep up the great work. If I can get to one of the mods, go ahead and drop his link again. And it's also located in the description. I encourage y'all to go check out the rest of his works. And thanks to everybody who came and chat. Hopefully you enjoyed, and special thanks to my mods.
Oh, quickly, Hezokuai. How many of your videos include pictures of Glenn Serio's butt? Is it just that one? Am I safe?
You're muted, Hez.
I'm sorry. Yes, just that one.
Okay, good. I can drop the order for mass order of brain bleach then, just down to one bottle.
Alrighty. Well, thanks again for coming up. And have a wonderful day. It's a wonderful
Thanks
day
for having me.
Yeah, thank you. Everybody have a wonderful day. It's a wonderful day to have one. Goodbye.